meeting with that Navy officer, she was going to pursue farther with the VA and not that department. So she called and told them all what happened, and they told her to put in this application for a rating to see if I had a rating to get help. And so that was the beginning of a 9-year battle to get my rating. And what happened is they gave me 100% rating. The battle was they wanted me to prove that I was 100% from the beginning to where we were then, like years. They wanted me to prove years of dysfunction and psychiatrist meetings and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And they didn't seem to get I was 100%. Although you don't change from 100%, to like 10%, in between A and B or A and Z or whatever. So she pursued, and they kept not getting it. And so my wife researched who's the best VA attorneys in the country, because she knew I was being absolutely run off and like, we're not going to rate you anything, get out of here type of thing. So for 9 years, she pursued. We got these special attorneys out of, I think they were from Washington, D.C. I don't know. She handled all that stuff because of stress. I could have another heart attack or anything trying to deal with all this stuff. And my middle son told me, Dad, don't you dare give up, because I was so close. Screw these people. I don't want 10 cents of their help. And he said, don't you dare, you battle, you son of a, he said a bad word, and you get what's coming to you. And so after 9 years, a judge got it, and he was so furious. When the final decision came, he said, he's not only 100%, but he is not to be harassed, not to be told or asked to do anything for the rest of his life. Don't you go near him. He's 100% stressed combat veteran. That's our decision. And from this day, man, he let them have it, because he knew we endured 9 years of this stuff. And so I got 100% rating for life. And that doesn't mean things have been easy. Trust me, life isn't just about money. Your battle goes on. It was a great help. All my medical's covered because I am a veteran. And my wife gets Champ VA, so she pays a percentage whenever she has an issue. So it was sent from heaven, trust me. It was just great, great relief. And so that happened, but guess what? There was dysfunction in our home. Dysfunction I was blinded to, and I really was excited about sharing this with veterans, with you guys and girls, about dealing with our issues when they're unseen. And when someone points them out to you, listen and do something about it. It can cost you your marriage. It can cost you your life. It can cost you everything if you don't change something. My wife came to me. I was totally enraged. You could put it on the war. You could put it on life. You could put it on all we've been through. But I was an angry, angry person. And I told my wife to get out of our home, no fault of her own. I said, take the damn dog with you. Kicked him on the way out the door. Her mother's home was empty, so she went and stayed in her mother's home. Her mother offered her her house so she could stay in it. So she didn't have any bills or anything like that. But I treated her horrendous. And I didn't know why. I didn't get it. I do now. I didn't understand then. But my sons went through it all. I put the whole family through it. And my sons came to me one day and they said, Dad, Mom's right. This isn't her. This is on you. This is stuff you've been doing all these years. And it's not her fault. You're blaming her. You're taking all this rage from the war and alcoholism and homelessness and all this, and you absolutely just dumped it on Mom. And all she's done is served you for all these years. I didn't get it. What I needed was separation. I was trying to be perfect, and I couldn't do it. And when I couldn't be perfect for my family to take care of them and do the right things everywhere in life, I totally lost it. I need to be by myself. Remember, I already had one attempt at suicide when I was younger, and things had built up. I just needed to be alone. It didn't matter who I was hurting. I didn't even know I was hurting that until I was told. My sons and my best friends told me that. Then I knew it was the truth. So she left, and oh my God, I went and grabbed a bottle. I hadn't drank in, I don't know, 30, 40 years. And I grabbed the bottle of that old devil vodka, and I just started drinking. I thought, I didn't care. I just lost it. It was like a breakdown. I didn't talk to anybody. I locked the doors of my house. Everybody stay away from me. But at the same time, I wanted my wife to keep taking care of me like she always had. And she was saying, dude, you're on your own. I can remember one time I was eating cough drops. Remember this, cough drops raise your blood pressure sky high. And my blood pressure went up to like 240 over 120. I mean, it was just astronomical. And I went by where she was staying. And I said, will you drive me to the VA? I think I'm having a heart attack. My blood pressure's gone. She said, drive yourself. And slammed the door in my face. Right then I said, oh shit, something's really wrong. I am literally dying. And she'd been through that with me before with a heart attack. And she told me, go die, basically. I mean, that's how bad I had hurt her. And so she was devastated. She was drinking herself over there in private. She could not deal with this. We were just like the couple. Everybody that knew us, this can't be happening. This is the perfect couple. They're not going through this. And then I remember she said she was going back to, this has been like 2 or 3 months now, I guess. She was going back to Colorado to work. And I said, you're going to do, I still had this possessive, she was my property kind of thing. I was still a jealous, prideful, really angry person. And I said, well, I don't think so. You don't need to be going back there. She said, what do you mean? I don't have any money. You're not giving me any money. And so, you don't get any worse with the being mean and just not seeing past me. So she drove back there all by herself. And it wasn't what she thought. It was horrible. It was snowing, freezing. They were putting her in some piece of crap little place, cabin to stay while she worked as a waitress. Well, she called me about something one day and kind of tell me about it. And I said, and I was already broken. I was already, I was in a repentant state. I missed her horribly. I was all by myself. I got what I wanted, but guess what? It wasn't what I thought I wanted. So I'd got my little break, my 4-month break, whatever it was. And I told her, you get in that car, you're coming home. And I said, when you get here, I'm going to go personally go get all your stuff from your mom's, and I'm moving you back in. You deserve to come home. And you can only apologize so much. And I did all that. She understood that I got it. And the bottom line is to the guys out there, if you're treating your wife this way, is she said one thing to me, it's not okay. It's not okay. And that got through to me. She says, you cannot do this anymore. It's not okay. And to this day, if I start, because of the memory stuff I have, I started getting mean with her again and stuff, she'll just look at me and say, that's not okay. And I'll remember. And I'll go, oh, shoot, and I'll apologize. But it's all, any marriage is a work in progress, and it's 50-50, and you just can't treat women bad, or you're not going to have a woman, because I was totally lucky and blessed that she came back, because she didn't have to. But she made the decision to come home. And 9 out of 10 vets, I would say, lose their wives. Probably they've all been married 2 or 3 times. Everyone I talked to, they've been married 3, 4 times. They can't come to this present day. They're living back in that day, of when they went through the war or whatever their issues are, and they can't see past their self. But you have to change something or you're going to lose everything. That's all I can tell you. Because it happened to me. And then, thank God, we got back together. And then in 2012, we thought we'd move to Oregon, Coos Bay, Oregon. Awesome place. There's a place called Millicoma River. It's about 9 miles inland from Coos Bay. And we found this mobile home, and it was right on the Millicoma River. I mean, right out my back door, I caught trout, massive trout, like I've never seen before, like in Discovery Channel, like come out of the water. Salmon out my back door, 30, 40-pound salmon, steelhead. My dream. We were in this place. It was my dream. My family came up to visit all the time. They were way too far away. It was like 12 hours back to California. But they loved it up there. We loved it up there. So one day, we were in town in Coos Bay, and I saw this Harley Davidson shop building. And I said, it had been 5 years since I rode. I told Diane, I want to go in there. I want to check out the bikes. And she looked a little scared. She said, well, okay. So we went over there. And we go in, and I spot this bike. It was powder black, 8 hangers, 2007 Heritage Softail. Beautiful, my dream bike. I went and sat down on that thing, and I hadn't ridden in 5 years. Didn't have any desire to ride. I just wanted to go in there and look at the bikes. Well, that's all it took. I sat down on this thing. I looked up at the salesman. I said, sold. And my wife's eyes were in shock, looked at me like, we can't afford this. What the H is he talking about? And the guy goes, sold? I said, I want this bike. I'm going to buy it. And my wife said, really? Can we have a minute? And the guy walks away and says, how do you think you're going to buy this? I don't know, but I want it. I said, make it happen. I can't make it happen. We don't have, they're not there. I'll call my sister. She's rich. Penny's probably going to watch this. I'll call Penny. She'll help me. Penny Nickell. Get it? That's our last name, Nickell. Her name's Penny. So Penny, I called her and she said, I think I can help you. I'll buy it and pay her payments and everything's cool. So Penny says, yeah, I'll co-sign. You can buy it. So I died and went to heaven. Oh my gosh, I bought this bike, my dream Harley. And I'd had 2 or 3 before that, I think. I always get what I want. My wife's awesome. So anyway, she loves to ride too. So before you know it, we got all decked out again with the matching helmets, the leather jackets, blah, blah, blah. We get home and I said, now you know what I want to do. And she said, what? I said, I want to go ride to the wall. I've never been to the wall, and it's been 40 years. I said, I want to go see some of my friends on that wall and just go say hello. And I just felt like I wanted to go there. And we had renters in our house, again, different renters that were horrendous. Diana had to fight them every month to get the rent to pay for this California house. And it was not good. It stressed us out really bad. This paradise we had was awesome, but trying to carry this house too was just totally stressing us out. And so then we find out we have 2 new babies coming, 2 pregnant daughter-in-laws. And we're thinking, oh my God, we got to move home. These guys they can't afford to come up here and visit us. How many fish can I catch out of this river? I mean, it was paradise. But I think it was about my heart attack and all that stuff, getting a rest from the stress. So we called everybody, say, we got to come home. These babies won't know us if we're not around. We can't let our babies not know us, our grandbabies. So we're going to head home. So we got to get these renters out here so we can move home to our home. Same situation as that one situation. They would not leave. These people would not leave. We had to go to court. Oh my God, just like before. We went through all this stuff. And I went before a female judge, and my wife handled she got to be a lawyer after getting my rating for me. She became my lawyer for this deal. We found out all about the 3-day eviction, all this crap. So we go before this female judge, and she sends us outside with what they call that, the medium arbitrator, whatever they call. You guys work out a deal, in other words. We come back in before this lady, and she says, blah, blah, blah. And I said, Your Honor, she looks at me, yeah. This guy don't want to pay nothing, let alone, she looks at the guy and says, is that right? He said, yeah. She goes, what makes you think you're not going to pay him anything? She said, have you been living in that house? And the guy goes, yeah. How long? 6 months without paying rent, she said. And he goes, yeah. She goes, it's not the way it works. You will be paying him every dime back, and we're taking it out of your check. That's my ruling. And get out of his house, by the way. You and your girlfriend or wife, whoever she was, get out of the house, and you're going to pay him every dime back. And he did. They garnished this guy and this female's check from their work every month. I don't know how long it took, but we got every dime of our money back. They got out. We got back in this house, and we got on that Harley, and we took off to the wall. And we had the time of our life. And when we got there, I totally was greeted in my heart something totally different than what I expected. I had gotten so healed in 40 years that I felt like I was truly going to visit a friend that I knew where they were in heaven. And I knew what they stood for. And I know I'll see them again. And I didn't fall totally apart like I thought I would, which is a good thing. And I looked up my names, my friends, and we found them on the wall, and it was all great and everything. You know, we said a prayer, and we visited all the other stuff. They had the Korean War stuff. It was just an awesome trip to Washington, which we'd never been to before. And we rode all the way there, and we rode all the way home, and everything was great. So we're back in this house again. So I get up one day to go to the bathroom, and my whole world spun around like you can't even put in words, and knocked me down in my bed. What the heck? I thought, oh, Jesus, I'm getting old. I got up too fast. I said, but man, that was really severe for getting up too fast. I felt them before, little dizzies. This was like major. I said, well, I got to try it again. I didn't want to tell Diana and scare her. So I got up, and it did it again and threw me down. What the? And then I felt like I had to go to the bathroom really bad. So I thought, well, I'm not going to call her. I'm going to go to the bathroom, see if this thing will go away. So I had to literally crawl into the bathroom, low crawl, literally, because I couldn't stand up. The whole world was. So I went to the bathroom, and I started to feel a little bit better. And I said, well, I'm going to go in the living room and sit down. So I get in there, same freaking thing, the whole world. knocks me down the couch, and I said, Diana, call 911. She freaks out. What's wrong? I said, just call 911. And they got here, and I explained everything that I was feeling, and they put me in that freaking ambulance. So they take me back to the same place I had the heart attack, Quia Delta, and we go in there, and they say, okay, we're going to put you in that big tube and take a, whatever that thing's called, MRI. Yeah, because we got to look at your brain, all this other kind of stuff, because I was having stroke symptoms. I was slurring my words. So I get in that tube, and I'm freaking out because I don't have any medication to relax me. And the guy told me no non-vets ever gotten this thing and stayed in there. They come flying out. I ain't getting in there. Claustrophobic. It's horrible. So he tells me that after I go through the hell, and I did it, he tells me that. You're the first non-vet's ever made it through that crap. So I never went in there again without Advant. It's some kind of medication that kind of makes you out of it. I take that now when they tell me I have to go in that tube. I come out of there. This doctor comes walking in. I'm sitting there. He walks, I've never seen him before, total stranger. And he looks at me and says, okay, I'm going to tell you what's going on. Here's how it is. You're going to have a major stroke and you're going to die. Totally true story. My wife was sitting right there. I looked at him. I said, is that right? He goes, that's the diagnosis. That's what all the x-rays, just about every artery in your body is clogged. And you're going to have a major stroke and die. Or should I do this at home or should I do it here? What are you saying to me? No, we have work to do. You stay here. I'm going to go call the major hospitals in the whole state. So he called USC, called UCLA, called all these places and talked over whatever the x-rays were saying. And he came back in and he was all excited. He says, I've got great news. And I thought, well, that's good. You just told me I was going to die. He says, we're going to send you. I found an opening, and that don't quote me, I'm almost positive this is what he said. The fifth most specialists in the United States with strokes and stuff like this issue of clogged artery thing is in San Jose Medical University. And I got a hold of Dr. Patader, and he said he would see you. So we got to get you there immediately. We got to airlift you out of here. I said, airlift? Yeah, you're going in a helicopter. We got to get you there now. And so I said, oh, can my wife fly with us? She said, no, not enough room. So my wife and my youngest son jump in our truck, and they go flying to San Jose as fast as they could, hundreds of miles from where we live, from this hospital. And I'm tripping going, oh, Jesus, Vietnam flashbacks. And they put me in this helicopter. They tell me, do you need any Valium or anything? I said, dude, no, I flew in these for months. That doesn't bother me. But here I am. They got me all whatever. And I'm in this dust off. We call them a NOM, but it's an airlift. Takes off and flies me all the way to San Jose. We're landing. So they take me into this hospital in San Jose, emergency, and I got to go to the bathroom really bad. So I start looking around, and the place is full of Asians. I thought I died and went to hell. I'm about to be overrun, and they're all going to kill me. So I'm seeing Vietnamese people everywhere, and I'm going, oh, my God, it's worse than the place I just left, right? Because I'm thinking, they speak broken language. They don't know what you're saying to them, blah, blah, blah. Just all in my head. So, God, I'm back in Vietnam. So I get on this, they roll me in this room, and I tell us, no, you can't move. I said, where's your damn bathroom? This Vietnamese lady, oh, right there. I said, I'm going. I got out of this bed, and I had to be so bad. Just flew all the way from Fresno. So I'm sitting there, and I see my wife and my youngest son come walking. And they come walking, Dad, this place is awesome. It's so clean compared to Kuwait Elton. Great place. I said, haven't you seen all these foreign people all over the place? They go, no, they're nice people. Don't freak out. It's okay. So a doctor comes in finally. Oh, first of all, we call Quia Delta, and my wife's going to get my x-rays and stuff for this doctor to look at. And I literally had to send my tech son, my oldest son, down to show them how to put this stuff together to send it to San Jose. They totally didn't know what to do at Quia Delta. And what they're at, it was just a mess. It's hard to explain. But anyway, Isaac went down there and he got it all straightened out and they sent all that stuff. So doctor looks at all that stuff. And this is like a major specialist. I mean, this guy's a top surgeon in the whole United States. And he comes in there and he looks at me, doctor stuff, white jacket on. He said, this is what's happening. You're going to have a major stroke and die. My wife was eyewitness sitting right there. I go, I had to giggle a little bit. I said, is that right? Like I said to the other guy. And I go, that's what they told me back there. Why did I come here? They told me you're the best in the whole country, and you tell me I'm going to die just like the other guy told me. He said, no. He said, that's not what I mean is we have a lot of work to do. That's what he said too. So what are you saying? He says, we have to do surgery immediately. And I said, well, we'll get somewhere. If I die in there, I die. But at least you guys, come on. Walk up. I don't even know you. Never met you. Hello, you're going to die? What the hell? What kind of place am I at here? So anyway, he sends in another specialist. This is what's up. So I have a surgery set up. And my precious little granddaughter calls me on the phone. And she said, Pop. She called me Pop. She said, I talked to God. And this was on the phone. I said, oh, you did, Harlow? Yes, I talked to God, Pop. And he told me he's going to be right there with you when you go have your operation. And he told me you're going to be just fine. It's the cutest thing I ever heard in my life. But I know it was true. Put me at total peace. Oh, honey, that's so awesome. Thank you. Goodbye. So anyway, surgery day comes. Go into surgery or getting ready to go in. They give me the most awesome drugs. I am ripped. And I'm ripped, and my wife's sitting next to me. And Israel, my youngest son, calls his mother to ask how things are going. Well, Dad's getting ready to go in. And I said, give me that phone. And she gives me the phone. And I said, we call him Buck. And his name's Israel. I said, Buck, this is awesome, dude. If you ever have to have a surgery, come here. And he said, why, Dad? And I said, there's beautiful women everywhere. They look like they're from India or something. They have these beautiful black... Dad, is Mom there? I said, yeah, she's not done. She can see. That's what I told him. I said, she can see. They're all beautiful. I'm ripped out of my head. You go, okay, Dad, good luck in there. So go in there, put a stent in right here in this artery. They operate and they put a stent in, and they come out of there and they tell your mother, he has to take these blood thinner things or he'll die. And so because now we're coming home, I'm cutting it short. We're coming home. He has to take these pills or he'll die. He could have whatever because it's blood thinners. So these I agreed to do it. Mom researched it and all. She said, don't take that stuff. Just like I didn't with my heart attack. I said, yeah, this one, these are two very big time specialists telling me this. The one that taught the schools on this stuff. And they lose patients all the time because they don't do what they tell them to. I said, I'm going to give them guys 2 months. I'll take it for 2 months. And they said after 60 days, you'll be good. I said, I'll take it. They were little tiny yellow pills. So I'm taking these pills and we get back home and I'm driving. And my wife looked at me and said, where are you going? I said, I'm going home. What do you mean, where am I going? Why are you going? We lived in this town for how many years have we lived here? 50 years or something. She goes, you're going to Three Rivers. Home's the other way. No. No. I said, what are you confused about? Is there something wrong with you? Home's that way. I'm taking us home. Driving, she's looking really weirded out. And she knows with me, I'll get real angry if she doesn't let me do what I want. Okay, I'm going to say this once nicely, she said. You're going the wrong freaking way. We live that way. And so anyway, we found out these pills were doing to me what she researched, confusion, and really screwing me up. So we got off of them immediately. So the doctor, I go back, the other doctor told me I need to see the specialist. His name's Dr. Tay. Because Dr. Patador did like 4 surgeries of researching, going up through your arteries. He went down the front, both sides, up both sides, researching to see if I need another surgery. Found out this whole, what did my wife call it, carotid artery coming across my waist was totally clogged. And so they sent me to another specialist, one of the best. And he said, here's the deal. If I operate, you could die. He said, really dangerous. He said, I don't want to do this. He says, and if you didn't die, it might cause big time complications. Here's my recommendation. You go home, you walk 7 days a week, not 3, not 4, not 5, 7 days a week for at least a half hour. And what will happen is your body will create new avenues just because your body's so amazing. Said the top of your head's like a freeway. There's like roads everywhere, the veins and arteries and all this stuff. And so he said, I came home and I walked for 1.5 years, every day, 7 days a week. And the pain I can't describe in the first few months because you have no blood flow. So I'd have to walk like 20 yards and sit down. Excruciating pain. And he told me that was going to happen and you just have to walk through it. So I kept walking through it for 1.5 years. So now I'm feeling like pretty good. Like I'm starting to get healed. And so now my wife, when I was getting operated on here, she said, something's wrong with me. I have to go next door to the emergency. I said, what? I'm dying. Now she has to go to emergency. What do you mean you have to? So I said, you better go. But the good part was we were in one of the best hospitals in the United States. So they go and they tell her, you're having female problems. When you get him home, you need to get in immediately and be checked out, right? So we're going down to have her checked out in San Diego. She has an appointment. And so, okay, I'll take a shower and we'll get ready and I'll drive you to Long Beach. Long Beach is where it was, to the female surgeons. And I'm trying to remember if this is her follow-up checkup or if this was before she had her hysterectomy. She ended up having a hysterectomy. And we're down there. I think this was a checkup. Pretty sure months after she had the hysterectomy. So right after my surgery, she has a hysterectomy. So your turn, my turn. So I'm having to wait on her, take care of her while I'm recovering from my surgery. And I'm in the shower getting ready to take her to her appointment. People on watching this isn't going to believe all this. I'm taking a shower, my fingers start tingling. What the heck's that? You know how it feels when your hand falls asleep and you go like that and it comes back? Well, it didn't come back. And I kept going, what the heck's wrong with my hand? It starts moving up my arm and I'm going, oh, shoot, heart attack, right? But it wasn't painful. It was just numbness. And it keeps going all the way up my arm, all the way up my shoulder, all the way up my face, all the way down my side, all the way down my back, all the way down my left leg, and my entire foot. It's like if you cut me right in half, this side was like gone, and this side was okay. And I said, call 911, Diana. What? What's wrong with you? I said, I think you better call 911 and do it really fast. So next thing I know, 50 people are up in our motel room. I mean, 50. There are the emergency guys, the ambulance guys, the hotel people that worked. There were 50 people all around that room, outside in the hallways. And oh my God, it's a major emergency type thing. I go, what is going on now? Turns out, major stroke. Whole half of my body is like this day, right now. Cut me in half. All this is totally numb. Hand, arm, side, foot, leg, still to this day. And I remember I asked the stroke guy, I said, when can I expect this to go away? He said it could be 30 days, could be 6 months, could be never. Could be never? I'm going to be numb? So he goes, yeah. He said, the good news is I expect total recovery. You might stay numb, but at least stuff's, it could have been a lot worse. So we're going down the road. I'm driving her to her appointment after all this. And I have coffee in my left hand, and my memory loss from the war, I have scalding hot coffee, and I take my left hand and I pour it all over myself. And my wife's driving. She screams and I scream because it scalded me. I go, oh my God, what has happened? So the whole front of me is coffee, just scalding coffee, soaking wet. And so that was that. And now I'm getting ready to start therapy in 2021 to see if they can help with the numbness and the stroke thing. It's affected my memory. You idiots out there, you trolls that have been writing all this crap. If you're still watching this story, maybe you'll get a little bit of why the memory was a little disturbed, why I might not have remembered. You remember there was a lot of wars going on after Vietnam, and I would hear about Apaches and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't sit around thinking about what the name of a helicopter was. I wasn't in a helicopter unit. But now, after explaining these heart attacks and strokes and all the stress things, 100% stress injuries, memory loss, you might, part of my 100% rating was for memory loss. Now, I wonder why I wouldn't remember the name of a tank or a helicopter or your freaking name if you told me your name. I'd forget your name in 10 seconds. But anyway, the point is, it's kind of good I shared all this about the medical, so you might get it, okay? That non-vets, some of them have been injured through no fault of their own, just like that freaking coronavirus. Through no fault of the non-vets, they live through what they lived through. And you a-holes that have never been there, I'm sure, you live in your mother's basement, you make all these judgments and you don't know what the H you're talking about. So that's why I don't let it bother me, because I know you lack of knowledge. You're not too sharp up here. You're not the sharpest tool in the deck, and you're short of a few bricks of a fireplace, right? So save your stupid comments for something else, because I'm not listening. When my wife reads them, I don't even read them, and she just erases you. Her and my son, they just throw you in the garbage can where you belong. But anyway, here's where we are in life, and we're going on to our next step. I believe 2021 is going to be a much better year, and we have to keep fighting and battling for our life. And I know you guys have it in you to suck it up, and remember, you're not doing anything for you. It's for your family. It's for your grandkids. And your young vets, it's for your new family. If you don't have a family, God has a plan for you to have a family, but you have to get in the game and be part of it. And we pray for you every day, and we thank you for watching this series. And we don't know what's coming next. We just kind of go with what happens, and we talk about it with my son and my wife, and we just do what we feel we should do next. But right now she's working on writing a book. That's why she wasn't here during this one. But we'll be continuing on, and please join us. Thanks.